And welcome back. Let's try this again. It did it again. I don't know why. I went through like three or four videos last night, and it was the second to last one that just got no sound, but the versus video seemed to get sound, so I don't know why that is the case. That this thing is, I still got to do a better job of just checking every video prior. Anyway, Daniel F. asked the question, what is Twilight Sparkle's Zanpakuto? Twilight Sparkle is a unique character. Very intellectual, very bubbly, friendly, a little OCD-ish. This is, by the way, I'm getting this all off like the description of her personality. I am not a My Little Pony watcher. And so say I hate My Little Pony. I have nothing against people who like My Little Pony. I'm not just Zed person who likes the My Little Pony. But yeah. So one of the ways I can sometimes go about figuring out Zanpakuto's styles and all that is looking at the personality of the character and comparing it to other characters within the series, so to get an idea of where they kind of lie as individuals. With her, from what I can tell, she seems to be a combination of Momo with a little bit of Nanao in there, the bookwormy intellectual type Momo, with maybe even a little bit of Rukia in there as well, or like a Kione or something like that. Now, unfortunately, Kione, we never saw a Zanpakuto. We never saw the release of her Zanpakuto, at least not yet. So that was the no-go. And Nanao, sadly, doesn't have a Zanpakuto of her own. She has her family's Zanpakuto. So the only one I really had to go off with there is Momo, who is very sweet and innocent, but does have a strong side to her. She's easily manipulated, but has a strong side to her. Ultimately, though, based on like the whole idea of My Little Pony, what goes on with it, or what goes on in that world, and everything in between, I think I figured out a generally good, or a generally effective Zanpakuto. So the Zanpakuto is actually a Keto type. Specifically, it's a Keto sound type. Now we'll hold for that. Standard katana. It's standard-wise it's standard katana. Or sword-wise it's standard katana. Release. Be nice. Its Shikai would be simply known as Harmony or Chowa. Its Bankai would be Harmonious Friendship. Chowa no Tareta Yujo. Now, being a, pony series, its spirit would be that of a horse. So I think a white horse of, kindness, purity, maybe like Gold Mage is like, you're so pretty, thank you, like something like that. But what does the sword turn into, or how does the sword look? Well, the sword, I see it as turning into a flute. Now you can make one of two arguments. It actually turns itself into a flute, maybe has a blade on it still, or the blade itself is still a sword, still has a blade, but it's a flute as well as a blade. It rounds out, but still has a sharpened blade on it, hollows out, and has these flute holes in there. Either way, flute. What does a flute? What would this do? Well, this is where I think we kind of get into a bit of a unique type of Zanpakuto. The Zanpakuto's ability is to essentially quell anger and aggression. If you're basically agitated or whatnot, it will calm you down. Angry Hollows rampaging, plays her flute, Zanpakuto, and the Hollows kind of start quelling in anger a little bit. Now, the counter to this is, it doesn't really matter how you use this. The person will hopefully calm down and stop being so angry and aggressive. But A, Ryatsu versus Ryatsu, that's standard Bleach scenario. But B, just because you quell someone's anger doesn't mean you're going to stop them from attacking you. Kenpachi's a perfect example of this. Kenpachi's not angry when he fights. You keep that in mind. He's not angry at all. He loves combat. He is elated. He is joyful. He's almost like he's probably got a heart on when he does it. So this would be a terrible Zanpakuto against someone like him. But someone like a Hollow, someone like a Grimmjow, for example, and not Grimmjow, but a Niratora, for example. There's a lot of anger in there. Yami, actually, this would be a perfect counter to Yami's abilities. So there's definitely characters that this doesn't work on, At least in the sense of just because you made them less angry doesn't mean you made them not want to attack you. But it's still a unique ability nonetheless. The Bankai, Chou no Toreta Yujo, basically I look at it like Zenbo Zakura Kageyoshi. She drops her flute into the ground, disappears, and a very large pipe organ appears with maybe like a flute hole or a flute reappearing in her hand, and she just plays it and then plays the pipe organ. Now, I look at this kind of like a Shinji ability. What I mean by that is Shinji's ability is to inverse the opponent's senses, but then his Bankai inverts their perception of comrades, allies. Allies become enemies, enemies become a literally inverse perception. Here, it's not quelling your anger. It is literally quelling your evil and your hatred and the darkness in you. It is almost like a purifying type Zanpakuto in that way. So someone like, now let's say this person, Twilight goes up against the Espada in this scenario. Well, the Espada aren't necessarily evil. Not all of them, anyway, are evil. But a lot of them are dark. A lot of them are evil. Or at the very minimum, very cruel and wicked. So against Yami, against Barigan, Ukulihara is a weird one. Niaratora, though, even Grimjiao. There's definitely things that can be done, certainly. But other opponents, like, say, a Stark, who didn't have anything real dark, he was doing it out of loyalty. Haribel. Again, Ukiara being a nihilism is a weird one. I don't know how you would really go about that one. But not real. Most of the Quincy probably would have fallen into the category this would work on him. But still, you get my meaning in that this is a Zanpakuto designed to stop aggression and stop fighting, if at all possible. Now again, Ryatsu to Ryatsu wise, this would not have worked probably on Aizen. Or Aizen would have been like, now I see what you're doing. And just would cut the Bankai down. Like, unfortunately, I can't afford to lose my will to fight. Your Bankai is indeed dangerous, Twilight Sparkle. And just runs her through. Running a pony. And I didn't really realize the angle I had this flute, but it does look like you're trying to run her through here. I could just cut the flute off, reattach it there, and it looks like she's trying to get run through. Just, and then I would just cut and take that off, and then, I stabbed her. But I digress. So yeah, that's what I think this Zanpakuto ultimately would do for her. It's a Zanpakuto not of aggression, not of, a fight. It's not designed for combat, really. It's designed to stop combat in a non-lethal way. So I would say that's my thoughts on her Zanpakuto, what I think it would be like. What do you think, though? Let me know in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Do you agree, disagree? What would you do differently? Till then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time.